Roddy Ricch had it all. Concerts with tens of thousands of people and the #1 song in the world for 11 consecutive weeks, until a complete disappearance. This is a drastic rise and fall of Roddy Ricch. To see just how he blew up in the first place, we have to travel back to before virality, specifically to October 22nd, 1998 in a small town in California known as Compton. Now, Compton wasn't just any town. You see, Compton was known for its gang-related activities, multiple daily crimes, and as Kendrick Lamar said, only 1 in a million will ever see better days in Compton. But Roddy had always had a passion for music since an extremely young age, as he regularly learnt to rhyme from his family members and was always practicing in school instead of studying. When Roddy turned just 15 years old, he managed to get himself into a gang called the Park Village Compton Crips, where the leader was convicted of 2 murders, 3 attempted murders, and an accounted possession of a firearm. Safe to say, Roddy was getting himself into the wrong crowd. At the age of 16, Roddy was performing so badly in school and causing nuisance out on the streets daily that his mother decided to kick him out of the house. Roddy began committing multiple robberies and selling drugs to support himself, seeing as he had no other source of income. And during his final 2 years of high school, Roddy ended up becoming so gang affiliated that he ended up wrecking his car and had a potential gun charge at the age of just 18, where he was forced to stay at the local jail for the next 7 days. But little did anyone know that these 7 days would absolutely change his life forever, as he decided to change his life for the better, and he wanted to become a successful musician like the little Roddy had always wanted him to be. As soon as Roddy was let go, he began taking his passion much more seriously than before as he released his first few songs. But to nobody's surprise, they barely got any traction. This didn't stop him, however, as eventually clips were spread around town of him rapping, which caused a little bit of local success. In 2017, he released an album titled Feed the Streets, and within days he had already managed to achieve tens of thousands of streams. This would then lead Roddy to release Feed the Streets 2, where the song Die Young was included. This song is what started Roddy Ricch's career, as it blew up sensationally, receiving 2 platinum awards and landed at number 99 in the Billboard's Hottest 100 chart. Now, Roddy was smart with his decisions here, as he was becoming more and more well known each day. He took no breaks and continued to release music at an insane rate. Please excuse me for being antisocial. Roddy Ricch's breakthrough. The album included Roddy's most popular song to this day, The Box, and this song going viral is an understatement. Within only 4 weeks of being released, the song had exploded to all corners of the internet. Everybody on TikTok was using it, it was on every radio station, and it was #1 in the Billboard Hottest 100 for 11 full weeks in a row. This song alone helped his debut album sell 101,000 units in only the first week. For a new artist to be pulling these numbers is phenomenal and hadn't been seen since 2003. Roddy was completely taking over the internet, surpassing other international superstars like Selena Gomez and Mariah Carey. Roddy had seemed to hit the jackpot, as this was during the worldwide lockdown where everybody was stuck at home. So Roddy saw a chance and successfully took it. But it wasn't all fun and games. What happens when you're at the very top of everything? There is only one way to go: down. Unknowingly to the entire world, Roddy was about to see one of the most catastrophic downfalls that the entire nation would witness. After such success from his first album, Roddy seemed to get caught up in the fame, and didn't really know what to do next. It was a whole 2 years later until he released anything on the internet, to at which point all of his music had completely died off. Some artists can get away with not releasing anything for years, then having no problem coming back. But for such a new artist that Roddy was, and with so little songs to carry him through with, this just wasn't going to work for him. Another problem that Roddy was facing was that everyone had extremely high expectations for him for his next album to be just as good as his first one. But Roddy couldn't have disappointed anymore. In 2021, Roddy Ricch had dropped Live Life Fast, which was instantly hated to oblivion by all of Roddy's fans, to the point where people began labeling him as a sophomore slump. The sophomore slump is a decline in academic performance during a student's second year of college, which perfectly fits Roddy Ricch. It had seemed that Roddy was just trying to copy his first album, and no originality was there whatsoever. Many tracks were titled Boring and Emotionless and Forced rather than Willingly, and the fact that this wasn't worth a wait of 2 entire years. Fast forwarding to after the drama about Live Life Fast had died down, Roddy began trying to hype up his unreleased music by posting a snippet to Twitter called Out of My Mind.
Hey, I've been low, I've been high, I've been out my body, out my mind. When you take my soul, take your time. Take my steps, I never stutter.
Roddy expected all his fans to love this and hoped it lived up to their expectations. But the fact that a couple days later he fully deleted his Twitter account for the hate the song was receiving says otherwise. Roddy then stated that it wasn't his fans that made him do this, but rather personal issues that were occurring in his family at the time, which is another reason as to why he began letting go of music and wasn't focusing on it nearly as much as he used to. Roddy had managed to release Feed the Streets 3, but this was his worst performing album of all time, which would have drastically demotivated him even further to continue his music career. Alongside all the personal issues with his newborn son and his wife Ali Minati, as she is looking for full custody over the baby, seeing as Roddy's early teen lifestyle wasn't at all what she wanted her child to have. She spoke about how he is being arrested on a gun charge and has claims of domestic violence. Given where he's from, Roddy had already won in life. He just needs to make smart financial choices and he's set forever, which couldn't be more true as his current net worth is $25 million.